Listen to the silence after a collapse, the sound of a mournful cello and the presence of cold ash. This is how the film frames the price of a total victory. Yet this specific audio landscape isn't the ending, it's the opening. These are the very first notes we hear before the conflict even begins. This looped soundscape defines Nassos Vakali's wordless short film, Dinner for Few. It depicts a narrative paradox, a society that undergoes a total, violent upheaval, only to find itself standing exactly where it started. This video looks at the mechanics behind that return, and why some revolutions fail to outrun the systems they replace. Vakali's builds the baseline of the society entirely through sound. Right from the start, the environment is split into two distinct competing audio tracks. Up top, you hear the heavy, constant grunting of pigs. This represents the elite class. They sit isolated from the world below, focused entirely on consuming and hoarding resources. Down below, under the noise of the feast, are the frantic meows and hisses of cats. This is the broader populace, starved and fighting over whatever tiny scraps fall off the edge of the table. This diagram illustrates a wealth concentration threshold. Funneling every resource into a tiny upper tier leaves the lower section completely starved. As suspense escalates, the breaking point arrives. When a society crosses this threshold, its structural integrity snaps. Extreme inequality creates a physical imbalance. In this architecture, a top-heavy distribution eventually exceeds its own structural limits and collapses. Then, the tension ruptures. The long, simmering pressure drops away completely, and a sudden explosive violence takes over. In the audio track, the chorus of dozens of individual cats is replaced by the roar of a single tiger. Pushed past the brink of starvation, the fragmented, competing scavengers merge. They become a unified weapon directed at the system above them. The film's orderly, building suspense gives way to chaotic, aggressive orchestration. The tiger doesn't negotiate or aim with precision. Its attack is blind and sweeping. The immediate result is total eradication. The heavy grunting of the pigs turns to high-pitched squealing as the hoarders are rapidly consumed. The radicalized force achieves its objective. The resource hoarders are gone, creating the illusion that the problem has been solved. In the wake of the slaughter, the violence stops. The roar fades, leaving behind a haunting, mystical stretch of silence. A vacuum. Instead of liberation, the vacuum is filled by the return of the original meowing cats. The tiger wiped out the gluttons, but it left the physical apparatus they used to hoard the food, the dinner table, completely intact. This diagram shows the trap of systemic replacement. If you delete the top tier of an unequal society, but preserve the shape of the hierarchy, the layers below will simply slide right up to fill the void. The victorious revolutionaries devolve back into scavengers, while the select few lock into the top tier. The faces change, but the central mechanism of distribution remains identical to the one that was just destroyed. Ending the cycle of oppression requires a change in the environment, not just a change in who occupies it. To stop the loop, the table itself must be dismantled.